Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to talk about Fear, written by Amarie Avant. This book is a BWWM book, and I'm also going to talk about all three series in this book. So, the main characters in this book are Victor and Luxury. Victor is a assassin, but before he's an assassin, he is a Royal Prince Duke. I don't know how it works out, so I'm just gonna say he's a Duke because the titling is kind of weird. So I'm just gonna say he's a Duke. It turned out that Victor is 35. He became a Duke when his not ex-wife, his wife and her son was killed about 10 years ago. So he's been in killing since about 10 years now. So now this is the major assignment. This assignment is like a hole in the wall assignment for him because he's like one of the highest paid assassin, and this assassin job that he had was like a mediocre one. So he was like, oh, I'll take it because you know what, it's in the United States and I haven't been in the United States in forever, so okay, no problem. So he took the position, right, to assassinate this scientist. So this job was paying $500,000. So when before he could even get the chance to kill the scientist, he met his daughter, Luxury. And it was love at first sight for him, and it was just so much going on. He was in love with her at first sight, but he didn't want to admit it because the first love of his life was killed. So he was like, oh, I'm just going to say I care for you. That's what he basically said throughout the whole book. He used I care for you, I care for you. So it turned out that he because he found out that Luxury was his daughter, and so he no longer wanted the job. So in order for him not to get the job, when he doesn't complete his assignment, the company that he works for, send people after him to kill him. So when he found out, he met Luxury. So let me back up. He met Luxury, and once he met Luxury, he found out what the doctor did, and he kind of get to know him, and he was like kind of liking him for a minute. So then he's like, it doesn't seem right. This man didn't do anything. Yes, I killed innocent people before, but his daughter is opening up my eyes to a lot of stuff. So let me look further into it. So long story short, he looked further into it and he decided not to kill the doctor. The minute he forfeit the contract, the company that he works for, was the ex-members, called him and said, you forfeit your contract. Do you know what that means? He said, yeah, I know what that means, but you better not do it. And some automated voice says, okay, no problem. We'll just come after you and everyone you're associated with. Like, what? So he said, okay, the minute you come after me, your company will pay. And lo and behold, he meant every single word. So they sent about one night before, in book one, they sent about 5 assassins after him, and he killed all of them, just like that. Then there was the twin girls that he killed, only because they weren't after him to kill him, but they were after to finish the job to kill the doctor, so the scientist. So then one of the girls, one of the twins, basically he killed her on the dance floor, and the sister, he killed her like a couple chapters later, and she wanted to have a final get together, and he said, okay, take off your clothes, and like they were going to have sex and everything. Before she could even take off her clothes fully, he killed her. So that was 7 people he killed in book one. And then when the assassin came after him again, they found out that he confessed to confessed it to Luxury what his job was and what he really did. So it was like, what? Are you serious? So that's where book one ended. Then book two picked up where basically exactly where it left off, and then she found out that he's a duke and what he has going on in his life that he never told her, because it was 28 days when they met in book one, and she fell in love with him, and then she found out the truth and that he was a duke and what was going on, that he was promised to get married to his childhood sweetheart, Madeline. So Madeline now, she's like, oh, come on. So like she was like firstly playing the best friend just to so that he wouldn't be disowned by the queen. The queen is his grandmother. So the queen was like, "Oh, you got to get married for the title, keep your country, yada yada yada." So in that chapter, in book two, it was a lot of back and forth about Madeline, his mom, his brother. Was more assassin because he started taking over companies, and then the company started coming. One of the guy at company that he came out or took over came after him. So it was a lot of back and forth in book two, but it was still good and intense. And then it turned out that he brought Luxury to England with him and brought her to the castle that he was in and all that stuff. And it progresses that he never told Luxury that he was married and that he had a son and they were killed and stuff going on. So that put a rift in their relationship. And they made up eventually though, because Luxury mom was killed when about 2 years prior, and she thought she don't know who killed the mother. So she found the mother diary based off one of the mother's previous lovers, and the diary, she was reading a diary, then she found out there was a dad, and her dad cheated, and there was a lot going on back and forth in the diary. And at the same time, Victor was still trying to get her to come back to England, get her to come to love him. It was a lot going on in the book. It was really intense and really good. So that was really book two. Book three is when like it started getting a little bit too dark for me. It turned out that Destiny found out. I keep on saying Destiny. I'm sorry. Luxury found out that her mom was raped and who actually killed her. Then Madeline got so scorned when Victor didn't want her because he said that he loved Luxury. She sold Luxury to a sheik. Well, sold her out, not like cash, but she passed her off to the sheik because the sheik was trying to get Victor for some crime that he committed, some ill treatment that he did back then in book one. And then, unfortunately, you know what happened when you get sold to a sheik and stuff. He had multiple wives, and he wanted Destiny. She was only like 22, so Victor's have like 13 years on her. Unfortunately, I it just was so much for me. Like he kidnapped her, she got beaten, and then raped, and um, it was just too much. She lost the baby because they tried to kill her. Book three was a little bit too dark, but overall, I loved the entire series. It gave you from beginning to end. She has all. Amarie has all three series in one book. So if you want, you could get that and read it. But overall, it was a good book. It's the beginning of the X member. If you remember, I did a previous book on a previous review on is Black Queen Dark Knight, something like that. He's an ex member too, so this one is the first ex member. There might be more coming in the future, but we don't know yet. But so far, that was it. This book was written about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm just getting around it now. But it was still good. It was a little bit dark, but still good. Overall, I did enjoy it. I think she did a great job. Check it out. It's called Fear, and it's 1, 2, and 3. All right, by Amarie Avant. Bye, guys.